Welcome to Peer Tutorial 106, Understanding Relationship Capital, RCP, and Peer. Hi, I am Ron McIntyre, founder of Transformative Leadership Group, along with the founder of Standard of Trust, Rob Peters. The goal of our tutorials is to provide short videos to help you navigate, utilize, and embrace Peer as a tool to change behavior and culture of you and your company. We believe that one of the foundational truths that every leader has to understand and confront is that many of the things that are important to success are outside of their control. Just because you can conceive it and produce it does not mean they will come. This applies to customers, but also investors, partners, team members, and even your own flesh and blood. They won't engage if you have not already earned relationship capital. The reality is that they don't trust you.
In our experience, relationship capital is the most powerful asset that a leader can possess, both inside and outside of their own power to influence. These concepts, principles, and practices are shared in my book titled Standard of Trust Leadership: Transforming Business Cultures Through Purpose, Performance, and Relationship Capital. The top performing leaders we know seem to have learned and embraced these standard of trust concepts. We believe that the Peer platform can help you begin to utilize these principles to prosper in our hyper-connected, transparent, and morally interdependent world. Through the introduction of relationship capital points, RCPs, and the process of gamification, we believe Peer will open up a whole new door onto the evolution of leadership in the 21st century. Relationship capital is really a trust account built over time through completed commitments, which you might be able to draw on when things get tough. RCP is really the assignment of value to various commitments based on the value of timeliness, quality, and communications in the process.
Following are 10 areas where measurement of commitment completion offered by Peer can help. First, these 10 keystones form the basis of the Peer platform. Secondly, these 10 keystones can be applied in any industry. Third, trust, trustworthiness, authenticity, transparency, and focus are required. Fourth, current top performing leaders seem to have learned and embraced them somewhere in their career. And finally, we believe Peer can help you prosper in our hyper-connected and transparent, morally independent, interdependent world.
Keystone number 1, earn relationship capital before you start your business. We all have an innate ability to seek out trustworthy and credible people and to evaluate others by observing who we can trust. But the first move is become trustworthy ourselves. Relationship capital behavior attracts others with relationship capital. And if you earn it consistently by becoming a person others can have confidence in, business people with trust will be drawn to you. In the Edelman Trust Barometer of 2016, one of the findings is that personal values and history matter when it comes to building trust in a CEO. We believe this also applies to leaders in general. The percentage of people who agree to the following are important. Visibility of personal values, 79%. Discussion of obstacles they overcome, 70%. Personal success story, 65%. And their education, how it shaped their career, 62%. Peer allows leaders to express this information in their profile and the actions taken.
Keystone number 2, always keep your promises to others and yourself. The greatest badge of a relationship capitalist is one who always keeps promises to others and to oneself, no matter how small or insignificant these may be. Keeping promises to oneself is closely related to self-discipline and willpower, and these principles are foundational to being relationship capital trustworthy. There's a measurement in the Edelman Trust Barometer that indicates the difference between how important the respondents felt the attribute was versus how well you perform that attribute. Now keep in mind, these are based on averages. Leaders behave in a way that is transparent and open. 50% felt it was important, but only 24% felt it was performed well. The gap, 26%. Leader places a premium on providing high-quality products and services. 48% felt it was important. Only 34% felt it was performed well. That leaves a gap of 14%. Peer allows you to track your valued commitments so that it can be drawn on for statistical and historical reference.
Keystone number 3, undercommit and overdeliver. Ensure that you make business commitments that you know you can fulfill, but be willing to stretch beyond your comfort zone. Most leaders overcommit because they urgently seek to have business stakeholders like and respect them. Yet the surest way to lose respect and relationship capital is to fail to keep commitments. Understand the risks involved and anticipate them in your commitments. This is a critical part of peer utilization. Experience will help you narrow down the commitments and have value for future growth and expansion.
Keystone number 4, be open to making valued commitments. One of the ploys of infamously unreliable people is declining to make promises to begin with, perceiving that making no commitment frees them from any concern about breaking them. Individuals see through this maneuver quickly and will label you as undependable and indecisive, and also as not trustworthy. 68% of those interviewed in Edelman Trust Barometer indicated that they chose to buy from a company because they were perceived as being trustworthy. This perception can be extended by the use of the Peer platform.
Keystone number 5, defend your personal brand. As a leader, CEO, or another company role, you are the brand. Create the practice of asking yourself, how will this decision affect my personal brand? Every decision and action you do or do not do will have an effect on your brand, and in the long run, your relationship capital or trustworthiness is your most valuable asset. Have a demonstrable history of keeping commitments, which can assist, should it be necessary, to defend your brand at any time in the future.
Keystone number 6, steer clear of vague, foggy commitments. Nothing impairs relationship capital trust faster than ambivalence or soft commitments through expressions like, I'll do my best, I'll try, or I'll give it my best shot. These can be perceived as striving to evade accountability and provides a rational excuse for expected failure. But as Yoda so greatly stated in the movie, do or do not, there is no try. We believe, as does John Maxwell, that sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. This means that failure can be a great learning tool. Don't fear to write down what you presume and what you are prepared to commit to.
Keystone number 7, document your commitments. Documenting your commitments should be a standard practice in your business. It allows you to build a digital and social trail of relationship capital agreements. Limited verbal agreements are allowed between customers, partners, vendors, and internal performance team metrics. Documentation helps make RC and RCP very tangible in building trust. Peer encourages one to be very clear about expectations, requirements, and thoughts regarding a commitment request. This also allows for the capture of relationship capital points, which allows the entire process to be gamified and adds a fun factor to a very serious process.
Keystone number 8, never require people to ask you about a commitment. If you make your relationships pursue you about a commitment, you have already lost relationship capital and at least half of your credibility. Nothing builds trust better than proactively managing your responsibilities and fulfilling them without being asked. A commitment completed before it is asked for reaps huge rewards of trust, relationship capital, and within Peer, relationship capital points.
Keystone number 9, communicate continually. No one can foresee all the risks that may challenge them as they fulfill all their promises. But there is no forgiving a failure to communicate when issues do arise. No leader wants surprises or bombshells when they can be avoided. The absence of communication leads people to assume that you had no intention of keeping your commitment and were hoping no one would take notice. Peer, when used regularly, can help trigger the necessary communications channels should they be required and help you avoid surprises for you or your client.
Keystone number 10, have a higher purpose. It is impossible to earn relationship capital in business interactions if you are undependable in the other facets of your life. Where is your focus? Is it for the general welfare of others in addition to your own company and financial wallet? Making money at all costs is not a well-founded higher purpose in today's world. Servant leaders teach us that trust is not a strain that has to be struggled with. It is the natural consequence of living a higher purpose. If you do not have a higher purpose as a leader other than making money, you will, with all likelihood, fail in your endeavor.
Because of social and digital technologies, our formerly separate spheres of business and personal are being intertwined. Relationships are personal at all levels. Today, a leader must offer his or her own trust first before rationally expecting to have it reciprocated. Do not attempt to short-circuit the process or to game the system. Don't confuse gaming the system with gamification of the process. The power of earning relationship capital, authentic trust, and relationship capital points is that if your stakeholders believe and trust that you can change the world, you most likely will. Isn't that why you enlisted in this leadership journey to begin with? The phrase, "it's just business," doesn't fly anymore. People want to know you care.
Peer provides some valuable data, and using data to evaluate what is working and what isn't is a critical management practice. However, it is still a practice that is effectively used far too little today, even though many perceive it is actually being overused. In the final analysis, we must understand that managing only what you can measure is not the only process needed to manage organizations well.
On behalf of Ron McIntyre, I'm Rob Peters. Thank you for joining us for a few minutes today. We encourage you to come back often and view Peer tutorials. If you have any questions, click on the Contact Us tab within the application and send us an email or send an email to info@standardoftrust.com. We will respond as soon as possible, and have a great Peer day.